This one is from r/entitled parents. My father, who was absent for most of my life, is now wanting to have a relationship with me. I am 25F. My father 50s, I guess, finally wants to have a relationship with me. And I am so uninterested. In short, my father, who was absent for most of my life, is now wanting to have a relationship with me. He says he was absent because of depression and because I remind him of his failures. I don't know how to deal with the situation. My mom abruptly left my dad when I was a toddler because he was verbally, financially, and slowly becoming physically abusive. One day after he went to work, she packed us up and left him. Growing up, she never spoke badly about him and always encouraged us to talk and see each other. My first memory of my father is from when I was 5. He picked me up, and we drove to his friend's house to go fishing. I only spoke Spanish at the time, and all his friends were very American. After a couple of hours, he told me to stay with them because he was going to run errands and be back in an hour. While he was gone, I was really scared and confused because I didn't know him, didn't know the people he left me with, and couldn't communicate with them. I tried asking the lady to let me call my mom, but she didn't understand me. When he finally picked me up, it was super late, and all I had eaten was some corn pops with no milk. We went to his apartment, and all he had was a mattress on the floor with a big window in front of it, no shades. I didn't sleep at all. I was hungry. That was the first time I ever saw a sunrise. After that, I was always scared of being alone with him. I would always bring a friend or cousin. I'd only see him maybe once a year on my birthday, and honestly don't remember much, if anything, about those times. He was mostly absent from my life. When I was 11, we moved to the same city as my aunt, whose father's sister, whom my mom is very close to. I started learning about all the crazy issues my dad's side of the family had. My father came and visited me and his sister, and even thought of moving there too. But first, he tried talking to my mom, and I guess gauging to see if she was still interested in him. She wasn't. I didn't know this at the moment. This was when things became bad. My dad started causing problems with my aunt and his mother for being in contact with my mom. He started hating my mom a lot, and it affected our relationship even more. He told my grandmother that she was not allowed to be around us. One day I went to the mall with my mom, grandmother, aunt, and my cousins, and we had a great time. At the end, my grandma gave me $1,000 cash and a letter. The letter said she could no longer be my grandma, and she couldn't be in my life. I was 12. My heart was broken because I loved her. My aunt took me/my mom's side and stopped talking to my dad and grandma. He was absent after that. When I was 15, I was going through a rebellious phase with my mom. I grew up a lonely, only child latchkey kid, and I was extremely confused about all the issues with my dad. I wanted to learn for myself why my dad hated my mom. At this time, I didn't know my dad had been abusive. I begged him to let me visit him and meet my little brothers, although I was scared. He took me on vacation to Canada with his wife, kids, and my grandmother. It was awkward, but mostly okay, until he decided to speak ill of my entire mom's side of the family. He blamed my mom for his problems and called her a B. He just said horrible things. I realized he was a monster. When I got back, I begged my mom to tell me the truth. I learned about the abuse she endured, his childhood, and the abuse my aunt and grandma had endured, all the drama I didn't understand from over the years, everything. Basically, my grandfather was extremely abusive, and my dad's family was consistently getting into fights and had a love/hate relationship with one another. I was shocked, to say the least. Still, I tried to be understanding and to have a relationship with my dad, but he was never interested. He'd tell me he would call and never did. He forgot my birthdays, never congratulated me on anything, was just totally absent. I tried visiting him again, but he left me all day at his business alone. He just didn't seem to care about me. Now, years later, he calls me out of the blue. He tells me, without apologizing, that the reason he's been absent from my life is because he has depression, that he finally has his medication in order, and to please understand that he couldn't even bear to look at me my whole life, that I remind him of my mom and the day she left him, that I remind him of his failures. He calls and texts me often now, but still to this day, he doesn't ask about me. He doesn't know anything about me at all. Nothing. He talks about himself, his business, his vacations, his kids. I answer because I feel bad for him, but it hurts so much, and it's hard for me to even think of him. It hurts that when he sees me, he sees his failures. He doesn't see me. I don't think he ever will, and I don't know how to get over that. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and check out these videos for more great content. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. See you next time.